Ladies and gentlemen, next bout tonight, 3 rounds this scheduled in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's a freestyle fighter standing 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in officially 206 pounds. In 13 professional fights, his record, 12 victories and 1 defeat. He is the UFC's number 10 light heavyweight contender in the world, fighting out of Vienna, Austria, Aleksandar Rakic. And across the octagon, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. A striker standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, also weighing in 206 pounds in 20 professional fights. His record 16 victories and 4 defeats. The number 8 rated light heavyweight contender in the world, fighting out of Freiburg, Sweden. Here is Volkan, no time, Oezdemir. And your referee in charge of the action is Greg Plainjames.
Ready to go here for our co-main event tonight between Volkan Oezdemir and that man Aleksandar Rakic. Volkan Oezdemir saying, I don't think this fight goes 2 rounds.
Are you ready? Fight.
And not because he's so completely confident in his own abilities, although he is, but he just knows that each of these guys has firepower, and some on display early from Rakic.
Oh, straight in with the power punching.
Rakic's the one wasting no time here.
Onto a guillotine. Is he going to get this finish early? He is cranking on that guillotine. Volkan Oezdemir is doing his best to try and hand fight. He's managed to turn Rakic to the fence now, which is going to help. Heads free. Good work by Oezdemir. Double underhooks here as well. Looks for the outside reap. Can he circle him off the fence and put his back on the canvas?
What a blitz from Rakic through the first 30 seconds.
Now Rakic turns Volkan to the fence, jockeying for position here. Very 50-50. Head position for Rakic might make a difference. Good foot stomp.
Knee to the body for Rakic as now Oezdemir reverses position again. Swings to each side on the break.
There's no real urgency for Rakic to control the center of the octagon in this fight, because as you can see, Volkan's quite comfortable in the center of the octagon, but it's Rakic that can cover so much distance. Think back to the Jimmy Manuel fight. He's sprinting from the fence. 2-punch combination to a high kick. Really nice body shot there.
Nice dip and counter. Oezdemir just out of the way. Aleksandar Rakic riding a 12-fight winning streak into this fight.
Looks for the uppercut.
Oezdemir dips and throws a left hand and connects.
Tries to find that short-range power that he's known for. Some redness already on the calf of Rakic. Really quite side-on is that lead leg of Rakic. Very vulnerable to that calf kick. Oh, gets out of the way of that left hook.
Right cross landed from Rakic, though.
Volkan trying to feint his way inside. Trying to get close enough to land that short-range power that he's known for. Looking for the counter over the top of the jab. Watch this left hook come back.
Left hook and another right from Rakic on the counter.
Volkan's looking overhand right, left hook. Oh, look at this. Single leg attempt from Rakic. Interestingly, this is what Volkan predicted.
Nice trip there from Rakic, and he immediately finds himself on the back.
Tries to get a hook in, but Volkan clears the hook. Trying to tripod up, get back to his feet. Also got to turn himself into his opponent, try and dig that right arm underhook.
Oezdemir back to his feet. Still in the grasp of Rakic, who tries to spin him down again. Instead, he'll press him against the fence.
Some short Travis Brown style elbows. Nice knee to the midsection there from Volkan. Takes a couple of shots at close range.
Standing in the pocket.
Talked about a low kick from Volkan Oezdemir. Keeps looking for that overhand again. You can see him posturing every time Rakic looks to throw the lead hand. Got to watch those fingers.
Final minute of a frantic first round. Go ahead, Dan.
The thing that's nice about that overhand is that it loads all of his weight onto his lead leg for that short left hook, which he throws off it really nicely. Comes right across the chin of his opponent.
Rakic again. Sets with a right, slips out of the way.
Clearly expecting the counter left hook. Managed to get out of the way of it a few times now has Rakic. Side low kick, 20 seconds to go in the first round. Powerful low kick by Volkan.
Steady work on the left leg of Rakic by Oezdemir through the first 5 minutes. And another one. Final 10 seconds now, first round. Heavy shots, and Oezdemir tried to leap in with a flying knee. Horn coming in just seconds. Second round straight ahead.
Breathe, breathe deep.
Il est en train de baisser des rythmes. Ok. On respire bien, d'accord?
Breathe.
Faut que tu sois un petit peu plus rapide avec les mains. Hein? Sois un petit peu plus rapide avec les mains, d'accord? Hein? Lève les mains toujours.
You gotta keep your hands up always.
Tu le touches à chaque fois, alors utilise tes jambes. Okay?
Every time.
Plus fast avec ses bras. Plus de jambes. Hein?
Use your legs.
Mollet,
Kick his legs.
Tout ce qui est kick, mais d'abord tu dois masquer avec une frappe. Ok?
Attention de ne pas te jeter.
Ne jette pas.
Sur le crochet.
Tu n'as pas besoin de jeter.
Don't
Utilise
rush.
ton explosivité, ressort. Utilise ton explosivité, ressort.
Има център. Алти има центrum. In Führung sein. Siehst du, macht Schiebe. Macht Schiebe, dann rechts auf Bats. Ja? Aber nur schnell.
Right back, thank you. First round was fireworks. Rakic came out firing straight away. Back Volkan Oezdemir up against the fence, threw a flying knee into a guillotine attempt. A couple of times Volkan looked like he was going to get close with those short left hooks, but Rakic managed to stay out of danger and land some good shots of his own. Volkan straight over, takes the center of the octagon. Got to close Rakic down against the fence. Doesn't want to be punching air.
Oezdemir goes first and again attacks that left calf of Rakic. Rakic has been content to counter-strike moving backwards.
Yeah, those low kicks are really starting to redden up. My goodness, look at the swelling on that lead leg of Rakic. That's very unusual.
Has a quick right, follows it up with a jab.
I don't think I've ever seen swelling like that before. It's very unusual. It's like an implant under the skin.
Like a dog bone is underneath his left knee. Some swelling, meanwhile, under the left eye of Oezdemir as he continues to beat up that left leg.
Now he's starting to reach for it. I've got Mick Maynard sitting next to me. When he reached for it then, that low kick is clearly taking effect. Look at the swelling coming up right under the knee. It's swelling as we're watching it here.
Perhaps a little more urgency here from Rakic.
Again, he reaches for it.
Catches that one.
It's going to take a little confidence from Volkan Oezdemir to walk himself into range. He has the head movement and the pedigree in striking to be able to do it, keep himself out of danger. But he's got to keep that guard tight. Wow, that swelling on that leg. I have never seen anything like that before.
It continues to get bigger by the second.
Is an alien going to come out of that?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to come out of there, Dan.
Wow. I almost wish Joe Rogan was commentating just to know what he would say about that.
Switches stances and throws the left leg, though, does Rakic.
You've got to wonder how that lead leg's feeling. Not only have we got that horrendous swelling below the knee, but there's a lot of redness above the leg as well.
Oezdemir out of the way and throws a body shot. Catching the kick that time and dumping it for a moment. Rakic tries to stay aggressive on top here. And now closing the distance.
That's 3 times now Rakic has clearly reached to try and catch the kick that's aimed at his leg. A striker like Volkan Oezdemir will be recognizing that. Will look to set him up if it becomes consistent.
Rakic content to stay close here.
Nice short right hook.
Needs a punch from Rakic for it. He puts that left leg right back in the line of fire here.
Now Volkan's put the work onto that lead leg. He can start feinting that low kick and setting things up over the top. Good movement from Rakic. He doesn't seem to really be too affected in his movement by the swelling.
Catches it again.
Good
Tries
balance.
to get in on a single leg here. Oezdemir defending nicely.
Good balance by Oezdemir. I know he's been working a lot on his wrestling as Volkan. He was a guest fighter on a recent European show, and he was doing a lot of wrestling during fight week, working on his technical ability to get into and out of the clinch safely. His takedown defense so far has been very good. Balance on the single leg. Rakic possibly slowing down a little bit now. Again with the low kick.
And just turns into it, needs it. Fires one back.
Some swelling on the face of Volkan Oezdemir around the cheekbones. Certainly taking away some of that sprint attack of Rakic that we know he's dangerous for.
Less aggressive in this second round, certainly is Rakic.
Nice body shot there. Volkan lands his hands when he's close to the fence.
That a little gamesmanship from Oezdemir. Final 15 seconds of round 2.
I love a little personality in the fights.
10 seconds, gentlemen.
Just kind of looks down his leg like, you got anything else here? Perhaps inside the head is Volkan Oezdemir. Final seconds, there's the horn. We will head to a third round, and we will keep it here to see how the corner handles this swelling below the left knee of Rakic.
Let the cut man do his work.
Jetzt letzte Runde, linke Hand vorne und nur warten. Okay? Weil 2 Runden hast du schon gewonnen. Du musst nur Führungsstand.
All right, so just obviously get some ice on there. The damage has been done.
But look at that, that's the swelling right at the start of the round. And look how quickly it comes up even over these replays. And Volkan Ozdemir's targeting on that is absolutely bang on as well. Every time, you can imagine what it feels like to get kicked on a swelling like that. Very unpleasant. Corner man's trying to take some of that swelling down. Managed to spread it out a little bit, but that is horrendous.
We'll see what kind of mettle Aleksandar Rakic has in this third and final round. Credit to him, he hasn't really even shown as much of a limp on it at all. I mean, he's still kind of moving, maybe not bouncing off of it as much as we saw earlier in the fight, but
I think it's more the sprint attack that's been affected because he needs to plant heavy on that lead leg in order to spring himself forward. We're seeing much more of a counter-striking style, trying to stay off the fence and not get caught with the heavy hands of Volkan Oezdemir. Great game plan from Volkan.
oh! Starts that combination with an uppercut, does Rakic.
Interestingly, aside from that swelling on the lead leg of Rakic, he's actually leading on strikes, both total and significant. 1 of 6 takedowns as well. Oh!
Counter and then throwing big again.
In on a body lock. Looking for an inside reap. Good balance by Oezdemir. Gets his hips away.
Rakic more pressure along the fence here.
Digs an underhook. Short knee to the midsection.
We'll see if he tries any more takedown attempts. He's attempted 6, but only landed 1 takedown through the first 11 minutes of action here.
expect Volkan to try and get himself off the fence here. He's going to try and circle his opponent to the fence or circle himself off the fence somehow. Controlling the wrist of Rakic at the moment.
Don't grab the fence.
All pressure here from Rakic. You heard the warning. Now big swings on the break.
Some fingers, Alex. Some Felix.
Far more stagnant in his posture is Rakic.
First leg kick of round 3 for Oezdemir.
Again, looking to come over the top of that jab. That right hand left hook combination is a confident finisher for Volkan. There it is again, but he's falling just short with that left hook. He needs to throw it out a little wider, cast the net a little farther and try and catch Rakic as he shrinks away from it. Right hand over the top. There it is. Ready for that left hook every time. Rakic is doing a good job of moving his head just out of range.
Takedown attempt here from Rakic. Oezdemir shrugs that one off. He'll stay right in the pocket. Surprised we haven't seen more leg kicks in round 3, Dan.
I am a little, but then, you know, an experienced striker like Volkan will probably know that if he throws those too many times, oh, there's the left hook. If he throws the low kick too many times, then Rakic will start to set him up for it. He's only going to throw that kick when he knows it's going to land.
Sits into a 1-2 as Rakic and then pumps out a jab. Oezdemir again back to the low kick. Final 2 minutes here. Thrown with a little more reckless abandon here in the pocket before they clinch along the fence. Uppercuts and now Rakic offensive here.
Volkan's taken some good shots from Rakic and seems largely unaffected by it aside from some marks on his face. Coming up to the last minute of this round, I would not like to be a judge. I mean, who does the most significant work in this last 60 seconds could steal the victory.
Fight could be hanging in the balance here in our co-main event between top 10 light heavyweight contenders.
Volkan pushing forward, defending a takedown again. He finds Rakic with his hands together. Can he get a lift? Volkan's low center of gravity and balance really serving him well here.
Round by round strikes look like that. Oezdemir actually having a small advantage here in the third and final round after Rakic did through the first 10 minutes. Final 30 seconds now.
The thing is, numbers don't always paint a picture, and what we've seen from Volkan Oezdemir is octagon control. He's been very good at forcing Rakic up against the fence and forcing him to deal with those low kicks. It really depends on how the judges see which strikes are more significant and how they score what.
And Oezdemir's
Very
getting busy
tough
in the
fight.
final seconds, even though his back was to the fence. 15 minutes between these light heavyweight ranked contenders. We will find out how the judges saw this one when we come back. UFC Fight Night is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. We are still awaiting the judge's decision here as Joe Martinez gathers up the scores. One more fight left from Busan, but one result to find out in the co-main event. Here's Joe Martinez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Here are the totals. Judge Field scores it 29-28 for Rakic. Judge Collette, 29-28, Oezdemir. And Judge Demetriou scores it 29-28. Your winner by split decision, Volkan. No time, Oezdemir.